We are on the road to NXT TakeOver New York. I got a full panel. Steve Kaufmann right next to me, man. Ricochet, Mustache Mountains, Aleister Black. Oh my, let's get it going.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Oh man, here we go, man. We got a full panel, man, right going on. I got a special guest, man. Listen, it's not Jim, man. It's not D Hill, Jim Alexander, man. Listen, I promise you, he's still alive and well. He's okay.
Are you sure? When's the last time you spoke to him?
I don't know if anyone's okay with that.
APB out on my man. No, he's doing his thing. RealTalker.com, doing a nice little carpet, moving and shaking. But I'm not alone. Let me start to my far left. Indie Queen, Indie Girl. Man, listen, Anissa Barr, what's good?
Not much. Bar Wrestling's tonight. I'm not going, unfortunately, because I'm here.
Oh, I appreciate you. Doing your AfterBuzz duties, man.
Yeah.
Next to her, Canadian Assassin. What's good, girl?
Hey guys, what's up?
PK Trinidad.
Mistimed. That's it.
I did. It was just because I thought it'd be like much longer. I had time to drink and everything. Oh, but next to me, man, this is my guy, man.
Stuff now.
This is my guy, wrestling aficionado, man. I do enjoy this man's company. I really do, man. Steve Kaufmann, what's up, brother?
Thank you all for having me. This will, as some will already know, be my final appearance here on AfterBuzz TV's NXT After Show.
I have a roundabout way to keep you in. I got a scheme, you know, like a parent trap plot to keep you on. You know what I mean? Like I got some way to just bring you back.
Are you gonna get Gotham renewed for a sixth season?
Yeah, that's what I'm. You don't know what I know. I got connections with Fox, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can be like Jay-Z, like retire, but not really.
But not retire. Just bring him back from like special guest appearances.
Yeah.
I'm Evan T Mack. Follow me at Evan T Mack. Let's get into it, man. It's getting very interesting, man. The road to WrestleMania, the road to TakeOver. We have a whole bunch of things going on, things shaping up. We start off with the Forgotten Sons, who I am personally enjoying, man. I really like these guys. They're doing a good. They're warming my heart, man. They're warming my heart. Versus the ever charismatic Mustache Mountain, Anissa Barr. I'm gonna start with you. Take me through this match. What did you think? What was your biggest takeaway?
I thought it was great. I thought, Tyler Bate is amazing. He took a little control in this match in the beginning, but I still feel like Forgotten Sons will not win this tournament. But I'll be shocked if they do. But at the same time, I still feel like I'm watching three biker buddies wrestling. I'm still trying to get who these guys are just a little bit. I mean, but it was a good match.
Yeah, you're trying to figure out what kind of what
the characters are for NXT.
What's going on? TK.
It's kind of like almost I was gonna say the reverse, but not really. It feels like you're getting really quality wrestling with NXT. Like it's long enough, you can enjoy the high points and the low points, but it's just like, okay, some of the people, their characters are not developed. So the same thing like what Anissa was saying. It's just like, okay, this is great, but why does your name correlate with, you? But it was a great match.
Yeah.
And
amazing. What's your thoughts, Steve? What are you thinking about this? Forgotten Sons, and we think about the match.
I really enjoyed this match. I think it's indicative of NXT, where the wrestling's never the problem.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
The problem becomes like where I don't know. I like the Forgotten Sons in the final. I like Mustache Mountain looking incredible, but ultimately losing because they also have two separate NXTs, and Mustache Mountain can be strong at a separate NXT.
100%. What do you like about the Forgotten Sons?
Exactly. No, I actually really.
I'm asking.
No, they have a very unique look.
Yeah.
They're obviously all great in the ring. I think my issue, just as TK said, is I want to know exactly who they are and what differentiates them, aside from their vests. Like, aside from their clothing,
One looks like Elias.
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
But that works, but are they a biker gang? They're the Forgotten, but are they forgotten because they've all been former they've all been part of former tag teams?
Maybe that's what it's about.
But we've all been trying to read subtext into who the Forgotten Sons are because they haven't told us or shown us.
To piggyback off what you're saying, what do you think makes a good faction? Do you think it's good if they just stay together and just beat the brakes off people, man, and win? And will winning solidify them as something special?
I think winning will certainly help, but at a certain point, I'm going to need to explain to someone who's not a wrestler. I'm going to need to explain to my girlfriend who isn't watching, who are those guys? And I was unable to truly explain beyond they're the heels.
Okay.
They're the heels because Mustache Mountain are the faces. And if I wasn't a regular watcher, I would assume I missed something. But as a regular watcher, I honestly would like, no, they didn't show me any. Like, they haven't shown me who the Forgotten Sons are yet.
Yeah, other than the folks who are like diehard fans, how you're going to get more people watching NXT is through a storyline. So if you're not gauged, like, okay, well, this is the reason why I'm attaching myself to this group of individuals or this person, then you're like, okay. Like, if I were not doing what I'm doing, then this would be the time where I'm like, okay, I'm going to, like, saute some stuff and listen to it in the background.
Also, if all three of them were people who've been spinning their wheels in developmental for years upon years, which, correct me if I'm wrong, that's the case for all three of them, then the play on the name should be that they aren't forgotten. That the play, like, they're actually the Unforgotten Sons would be more apt if it's you're not going to forget us.
But even if they do that, like, if they're doing the Forgotten Sons, meaning that they've been in developmental for a long period of time, then that would be the storyline. Like,
yes,
we're this good, and we've been, we've been doing it for this long. Therefore, WWE is forgetting about us, but we're gonna take hold.
Yeah,
that would be the storyline. If you can, and you can even do that in less than 30 seconds, like doing a small promo, like, we've been doing this since 2010.
And the story they can even tell beyond that is, we've been down here, and our mistake was listening to you.
Anissa, do you think the powers that be already know who's winning that match to take over? That tag team final? Do you think they already know?
That's a loaded question.
I'm just. Do you think they're like, well, it'd be interesting to see them versus the War Raiders.
You mean in storyline land? Because physically speaking, the finals have happened.
Right.
Because the tapings.
No.
You can admit the tapings happen. You just without giving away spoilers. It is well past 10 p.m. on the East Coast on the night that they're taping. The episode's heading into takeover.
Well, I guess a better question to Miss Barr is: do you see them like losing, the War Raiders losing the titles?
Probably not. No, I don't think.
They're pretty good. I like them. I like them a lot, actually.
Sorry for masking your question.
Oh no,
to help you out a little.
Dude, you're not helping or hurting me. I have to pretend like this thing is not happening. See, that's how we're supposed to do it now.
No,
people that have already watched this, cool, but I gotta keep up the fantasy, brother.
Okay,
I gotta keep up the fantasy.
To answer your question in timeline.
There we go.
If the Forgotten Sons win the Classic, I don't know what that match looks like because the War Raiders aren't faces. If Ricochet and Aleister Black win the Classic, I don't know why they need to be tag team champions if they're already caught up to the main roster.
Typically,
that's how it exists in this absolute 100% very moment. However, I could see the War Raiders being faces against the Forgotten Sons, who, as we've pointed
War Raiders are over, man.
As we've pointed as a panel, people don't know much about the Forgotten Sons, that it's not that hard for us, the War Raiders, a known commodity, can become faces against the Forgotten Sons, the lesser known commodity.
Yeah, and whether that's their intention or not, I mean, they're over, man. I was watching the last takeover. I was like, dear Lord, man. Like, I know they're not supposed to be good guys, but everybody, like, they love them, man. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's just a testament to show
that they lose the titles. Are they going to go to Raw or SmackDown? Because there's too many tag teams right now.
Well, go ahead, TK.
The Dusty, sorry.
No, I was going to say, is there too many, like, I feel like we do have a good amount of tag teams, but you can almost they can afford to add another tag team versus adding an individual. I feel like in the locker rooms for Raw and SmackDowns, like, we have a lot of people that you're not seeing on TV, but tag team wise, if you bring them up, it's like you can fit them in provided they get the proper storyline.
I would prefer Ricochet and Aleister Black getting called up as a tag team, knowing full well they're going to get separated, than actually destroying an NXT tag team, which
I know what you're saying.
They have, like,
because they could
Sanitying or
oh my god,
revivaling up until recently, or Authors of Pain. I'm sorry, I didn't remember their name because I haven't been on TV. And
that's how you know, right there.
Like, straight up fire money could main event a pay-per-view by themselves, tag teams and tag team divisions.
It's crazy, yeah.
And then they wind up on the main roster, and they just don't know how to handle tag teams on the main roster.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Tag teams are factions. I mean, like, Nikki Cross, Sanity. Like, why didn't they just?
Oh, they were awesome, man. But they were hell bent on giving Nikki Cross her due, like, solo, which I think she deserved. But I think you could have did that with Sanity, though.
Yes and no. But the thing is, there's nothing there's nobody like that if you
Yeah.
kept them together.
Yes.
So she would still be highlighted as a woman.
I agree. No, I 100% agree. I think they broke them up too quickly. Even if you brought back down Sanity for her title match, that'd have been dope. Like you just brought them back down. God, they still work for the company. They could come back
Yeah.
down and be at ringside while she's having the match of her life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they break. Like I said, I've always say it. I always harp on it because I'm always said they broke up the Wyatt family way too early.
Oh, for sure.
Way too early. They should have. I told you they missed that moment where Harper and Rowan with the tag team titles and Bray with the championship, and just for a moment, just for a day, an hour, a month.
Well, can I get into the weeds real fast on the Wyatt family? Here's what I think the Wyatt family should have been. They should have been pro wrestling's cult. And a cult of actual influence.
Without question.
So much
It
so.
was set up like they.
Oh, it was there.
So much
The lights cut off and everybody turned on their cell phone. Everybody, no matter if you kind of like them, that was the feeling in the
What a
vicinity
moment.
is
But
crazy.
But like a cult of influence to the point.
Yeah.
That just because they're not dressed like backwoods people doesn't mean Aleister Black, Braun Strowman.
Look at that.
Like
Part of the faction, part of the faction.
Just people down in NXT, people on Raw, people on SmackDown could be like low key getting down with the Wyatt family.
That'd have been. Oh, they missed a moment.
That
on
at some point it looks like it's Bray Wyatt by himself, and then actually a dozen people come out of the woodwork to help him.
That's yeah.
Like that's just that long-term stuff that was on the board.
It was on the board!
In Florida when they wrote this character.
I'ma just keep my.
And then he wound up on the main roster, and it's like, no, it's about him.
I'm gonna zip it, man. Listen,
You
guys.
brought me on the NXT show.
I
We're
know,
gonna talk about
I know, bro. Because I'm telling you, that's one of my biggest. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but
Oh,
they could do that with other. Like they had that at one point, and they haven't had anything like that in a very long time. Where it's like not a group of three. It's like okay, well we all do our thing, but we're no matter what. We're always going to be together, so watch out. It's like they could do that, and that will give an individual, even if they're not wrestling, some TV time because there's too many people in the locker room that we don't see.
Also, it gives you that hook that people are missing too.
Yeah.
If someone turns up on a main event, let's say, and they're 205 Live, NXT, like let's say Drew Gulak is a member of this Wyatt influence. And Drew Gulak turns up on a Raw or a main event, and you have to explain to someone who Drew Gulak is. Instead of he's a guy from Philly who has PowerPoints, he's a great wrestler, he's lucky to be, like, not lucky to be there, but like we're all really happy he's there. That's a lot more words than, he's a Wyatt supporter.
Yeah, man. With that being said, everybody, listen. If you can hear my voice, if you hear the sounds of my voice, like and subscribe to everything AfterBuzz, man. I demand it. All the washed and unwashed masters alike. Hit that subscribe button. 5 stars, iTunes. Listen, thumbs up on YouTube, man. You like everything Steve Kaufmann. He ain't leaving, man. It's a work. It's a work. He's not leaving AfterBuzz, man. Y'all seen enough wrestling. Y'all know he ain't leaving. He's gonna come back, hit me in the head with a chair, take over this spot. So everybody like and subscribe to AfterBuzz TV, everything AfterBuzz. Please, we appreciate you guys. Without you guys, I am nothing without you. So I
Shout out to
appreciate
Barry
you.
Mack.
Oh, shout out to my pops, Barry Mack. Shout out to Charlene, of course, Philly, Joseph Bosa, Michael. Oh my gosh, Dan, Zeno Hour, Star, Drew, Kyle. Optimus Provo said you will be missed, by the way.
Appreciate you. I was so quick to.
DJ Sip.
I was so quick to almost cut a promo on you and be like, homie, if I wanted that spot, it'd be mine.
You could have cut it. Why'd you cut the promo?
I didn't want to interrupt your flow.
You could always cut the promo on me, brother.
You were cutting a promo, putting over AfterBuzz TV. I didn't want to interrupt that.
You know what's crazy? Oh, speaking of cutting promos, man, I watched this amazing interview with Enzo, man. Y'all gotta check that out, man. It's really good.
I've
It's
seen
just good
clips.
just to see just to get his side of things, man.
Who's he on?
Somebody that wasn't asking him the right questions, but like it's seriously, I was like, man, I wish I had an interview. No, watch that, y'all. Look up the Enzo interview, y'all. It's
You
crazy,
didn't have
man.
pretty much the second his non-compete or non-disclosure or whatever went.
Oh, he was
on Austin's show.
And he's been on it. And listen, like I said, it's just interesting hearing his perspective on Simon Gotch, because I think a lot of that stuff with Simon hating on him is very personal.
Well, hold on. I met
Get
Simon
that.
Gotch, and I've
Yeah,
actually.
and Simon Salty, that's what Simon is.
Hold up! I've actually worked with him at the company that I used to work for.
Oh, please back him up, because he
Let me
needs it.
tell you, this guy's a nice guy. But he's honest,
I don't know, man.
and he said things that I'm not going to repeat. But
Does that sound like a nice guy to you?
sounds like someone who's actually had experience working there.
No, before I move on, is it fair to say that Simon's upset about Enzo's because all the hard work that Simon's done, all his years and years of wrestling work, and Enzo comes out of nowhere and jumps him?
Are y'all missing the actual heat between Simon Gotch and Enzo Amore?
Trust me, I know the heat between them, and I just think Simon's been selling people a bill of goods that's not all the way one.
Like Enzo's career was almost over because of working with Simon Gotch. Now you could get into whose fault it is, and it's wrestling. It's not ballet. But you want to get to the root of the
nitty gritty.
You want to get to the root of the heat between Enzo and Gotch. That's the root of the heat. We were all very concerned for Enzo's life.
We were, weren't we?
In a match where they worked together.
Don't sound like a nice guy to me, Anissa Barr.
No, once again,
Well, as someone who doesn't know how to wrestle, I mean,
I'm not qualified to do. I remember doing the after show that night and specifically saying I'm not qualified to say who was or wasn't at fault there.
Right.
But the reality was Enzo.
but when you see Enzo in the ring, it's like,
But that's part of his character. I'm not like I don't know. People don't get fired for one thing.
right. Oh no, I agree.
That's all.
My goodness gracious.
Shout out to Barry Mack.
Shout out to my pops. But that sweet smell of my cologne must be one thing, man. It must be time for TK's boudoir, man. Cause that boudoir is the boudoir. That's the boudoir, man. And it might hit, it might not. Steve might be sleeping in there. I don't know. Steve is away. I don't know what's happening, man. But I'm gonna let him find. He's scrambling right now. He's scrambling for the boudoir.
I mean, I don't see nothing moving up there.
Ain't nothing moving. We might get the boudoir.
Postpone.
Black and Rick is. Oh, listen. Oh my goodness. Bianca Belair, Io Shirai. I like both these ladies.
Bianca Belair brings up something for me.
Oh, do tell.
That shirt you're wearing.
Uh-huh.
You wanna let folks know?
I was gonna let them know afterwards about Black Man's Purgatory,
you
man.
I'd suggest you do it a couple times.
The BMP shirt, man. I just got it yesterday. Just came in, man, nice and crisp, man. The Black Man Purgatory shirt, equal opportunity organization that everyone's a part of. Not just men, not just women, not just blacks, but everybody, every race, every color, every creed. Anyone that's oppressed or oppressed in the sidelines of wrestling is not getting their due and just somehow disappears and fades into the background. This shirt is for you.
Whew. Where can they get the shirt?
ProWrestlingTees.com.
There you go.
Put in BMP. But talk to me about.
I'm so glad you got that shirt.
Talk to me about.
He was gonna go that without telling.
I was gonna say it, but no. But no, tell me about the whole this match. Did you guys like the match? Did you guys like do you like where this is going? The Fatal 4-Way. TK, tell me what's going on with this whole thing.
I think they might be able to salvage what they did with Bianca, like as far as like her not being undefeated, and I wish they would clear up like either she's just on a delusional streak, like okay, I'm still undefeated, or not. Like it's just I wish they would do that. It was a great match, and I'm like curious to see where Shayna's gonna end up. Like if she's gonna be called up after Takeover or after WrestleMania, or if at all.
They have too many Shayna Baszlers. Shayna Baszler types.
Where?
On the main roster between Sonya and Ronda. And they don't have, and she'll also leave a giant hole in the NXT Women's division if she were to get called up then like the week after WrestleMania, it would leave a lot of stuff in disarray, and it wouldn't be best for her.
But there are Shayna Baszler types, but the history between Ronda and Shayna is already gonna that's already an invested story.
But do you think Ronda's not gonna work Greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia? That's the show after Mania.
Right.
Ronda's likely not going to work again until SummerSlam, if ever. So, like, we're not...
What do you mean, like, work, like, be on Raw? You think she's going to disappear until SummerSlam?
Oh, absolutely. I think she's making that Brock Lesnar money. She's going to start pulling that Brock Lesnar clout.
Yeah, but you can't...
She worked a Mania to a Mania. Like, I think that's all she guaranteed.
Pretty impressive. What about you, Anissa? What do you think about...
She can't do that.
She's gonna.
We think about all the stuff we're talking about.
That's just disrespectful.
Yeah, I'll put money on it.
You see that?
You think she's suddenly going to find respect for this industry?
Well, I think beyond what she's saying in the media, she obviously has respect for the industry, else she wouldn't be there because she can get checks from it and anywhere else. My thing is, if she does that, it's either maybe maybe the intention behind it is that she'll just draw more hatred from the wrestling fans. Like, that would be the only way I could see, okay, well, you know, you can go off and do whatever, be back before SummerSlam, and then she comes back and wrestling fans will hate her. Because that's what I'd be. It's like, okay, you came from the UFC, that's great. You're amazing athlete, all this other stuff, but you have to work hard. And when you got the belt way too early. Everybody has said that, and you have way more work to do as far as mic skills, ring skills, all this other stuff. So before you even reach the pinnacle of being the greatest wrestler, you're gonna take a break.
Yep.
What do you think? What do you think, Anissa?
Of the match or the situation?
Everything.
But this match is probably tied pretty greatly in, because of those 4 women, you would think one of them, if not 2 of them, do get the call up after WrestleMania.
Right, and you know, right when I saw, you know, Kairi Sane come out and, you know, fight her and attack Shayna, I automatically was like, okay, now this is totally a fatal 4-way. Because before I thought it was going to be a triple threat. Now it's going to be a fatal 4-way, which I hope we get a type of match for it, not just like a typical fatal 4-way. You know, mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get the fatal 4-way, and that's okay. But I'm excited because at the end of the day, Io and Kairi Sane have each other's back in this match.
It might get to that point where someone trying to make a pin now, and they'll be like, hold on now.
Right.
Wait a minute now.
But you have
Calm
to
down.
remember, Bayley and Sasha went to NXT and was like, hey, you know, let's who wants the belt, and everyone's rooting for Kairi and Io.
It's true. Quiet Storm Entertainment said Shayna is better than Ronda. What say you, Steve?
I think as an on-screen wrestler, like as a character built toward that, I can explain to someone who this character is. Absolutely, 100%. Shayna Baszler is the only wrestler of the 4.
Right.
The other 3 are MMA stars that are there.
Well, Shayna, Shayna is also a UFC wrestler.
Yes.
So UFC fighter. But
She's taken to the wrestling.
But what I'm saying is like
But she also put in more work.
Yes.
She's been in developmental for a long time.
Yeah.
Whereas they called up Ronda and it's just like, okay.
But like and I'm not speaking out of school, but she was a package deal with Ronda. She came to WWE developmental as a woman who already trained to be a pro wrestler, and they weren't interested. I don't think I'm speaking out. I don't think I'm speaking out of school. I think that's very well known that she was training to be a wrestler, came to the WWE. They said they weren't interested, and then because of Ronda, we can get all 4.
No, Shayna was in the Indies though.
And she's been at developmental. You know what I'm saying?
You'll get there.
We got you.
She's been cited there quite a few times.
Okay.
So it's kind of, to me, it's like if WWE's not interested in you, then like you can't just come into the Performance Center.
Hell no.
No. But what I'm saying is before she had been cited there, because
she's been cited on Total.
Oh, I think Steven's trying to say like she's gotten more steam because of her connection with Ronda.
No, I'm
more eyes on her because she has been there before Ronda got
I'm
there.
literally saying, and I feel like I need to step lively now. I'm literally saying that I feel there was a time when the WWE was straight up not interested in Shayna Baszler. That's how long she's been at this. I am now.
And is that why she started
Chat roll,
working?
what say you?
Because she did work in the Indies.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She worked in the Indies and she did Mae Young, and even if, say for instance,
But
Ronda
you're talking
never
like
came.
recently. Like I'm talking 5 to 8 years ago.
Yeah, but
like,
she was also doing UFC too.
But she was doing UFC and working at the same time. But like, I am under the impression that she had a tryout with the WWE and they said no before any of the Ronda business happened.
But I don't think WWE says no to a lot of folks.
I agree.
And I don't think that if Ronda were to never sign Shayna where she is right now, I think she would still be there.
Yeah, usually on her own merits, on her own
Because
ability.
it's like when she came on Mae Young, we also saw her on Total Divas, Total Bella. She made an appearance a couple seasons. Like we've seen her. If you look closely, we've seen her in WWE formats in some way, shape, or form.
And
so
I've seen her at bar wrestling. And
But like
she's
the Ronda deal aside from the 12 months we've had with Ronda on TV, the Ronda deal has been a 3-year journey to right now.
Oh yeah, they've been talking about it for a while, but I don't think Shayna was included in it.
Yeah, Bosa said she finished 15-11 in MMA, lost her final 5 fights in a row. Marina was 1-2 in MMA. Jessamine was 3-5, won no contest, lost 5 also. It's like Bosa said they have to come to WWE. Like,
Yeah, because
they was getting the brakes beat off of them.
Ronda was Shayna's teacher for the UFC. You know, it's like the Tough Enough version. I forgot the name. Ultimate Fighter. So I remember when she was on there, and when she was coming up, and obviously she didn't have as a female wrestler, you have to be unbeaten to actually make a name for yourself.
Well, Mercedes Martinez trained Shayna Baszler how to wrestle.
Damn.
She was her teacher.
Yeah, you can tell she's so because of that ability. She can wrestle. Like that's what I see. You guys are saying in the chat. You're saying because like she's more polished wrestler as far as the wrestling business. Because I know this might be a spoiler to a lot of people out there, but you know wrestling WWE ring a little bit different than MMA. You know what I mean? It's a dance. It's a little bit more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I just want to know. I just dropped the balls. I just let people
I am
know.
never coming on this show again.
Because some people like to think just because you can, put somebody, you know what I mean, a little tap out, put them in a little arm bar that you can come into the ring, and it's just a different thing.
It's
a
a
dance.
combination of everything, especially
Because not
with
everyone
WWE.
translates. Not everyone translates. That's what I'm trying to say is WWE is a hard thing to do. Wrestling is hard to do. So no, I don't care if you're tapping people out in the octagon. When you get to that, it's theatrical.
And then they give you a mic on top of that.
Oh Lord, come on now. When you if you win or lose a fight after you lose, like I won and I'm happy I won. With WWE, you gotta like move the needle. Different promotions, you gotta move the needle, and that's why I know people are always like, oh, they were in MMA. Everyone's like,
and
so like wrestling fans are like, and we don't care. Like, where have you wrestled? What's indie scene have you wrestled in? Who was your daddy? Like, what'd you do? Well, I did MMA. I do MMA. Right. And people were not trying to hear that. So I give Shayna credit for looking like a polished wrestler. Every time you see her, she still uses her MMA skills, but she's understanding the dance that is wrestling.
Shout out to Io Shirai, the NXT America Mae Young Classic winner.
Yeah.
Similar to how in any brand in any like Royal Rumble, while there's two brands, there's a Raw and a SmackDown person left, and whoever wins for the Raw one, whoever wins becomes the Royal Rumble winner, but whoever was left becomes the #1 contender for that brand. Like that's pretty much where we are with Io Shirai.
It's true, man. She's a beast too.
Like
man.
Toni Storm went on to her own, like she's the queen of her own island.
Yeah.
Now Io Shirai gets to be the queen of NXT. So that
I like Io too, man.
I really like Io.
We got my boy, my guy, yo future NXT champion Matt Riddle backstage. Yeah, I said it. Yo Jim, I said it. Yo future NXT world champion Matt Riddle.
Can we get the AC on?
See, I get hot too when I think about this talent.
okay.
And he's over here doing this bro shtick, which I love, man. He's getting better. He's getting more confident on the mic. He's just take it easy, bro. You're good. Don't listen to Jim saying you can't cut a promo. You're getting better and better. Don't let Jim get in your head.
Matt Riddle is not listening.
Yeah. If Jim gets in Matt Riddle's head, he should not be.
You hear that? Don't let him get in your head.
How did Matt Riddle make it this far? If Jim can get
Thank you very much. Like he's telling me this guy's not good, but I don't even get into that. So the great, honestly, the great Adam Cole comes there and like, bro, I ain't trying to hear that. How dare you come out here and you can get the North American title shot when I'm still here? And he's like, bro, seriously, bro, like, bro, and like then he walks away, leading me to believe things are gonna get set up here. And I like that my man's in the mix. I like guys with a box office, and I think Matt Riddle is box office, and he's a bar. What say you about no matter what we know or don't know down the line, just Adam Cole and Matt Riddle going against each other for something? What say you?
This is entertaining. I love it. I like to see what Matt Riddle and Adam Cole can do in a WWE ring.
Yep.
Because there's a difference between how to wrestle in the indie scene and there's a little difference how you wrestle in a WWE ring. But at the same time, we don't know who at the end of the day, we don't know what's going to happen. Exactly. I prefer to see Matt Riddle become a future NXT star, but right now, I honestly think that Adam Cole would be the next NXT star if Johnny Gargano gets the opportunity to go to the main roster within the next year or two.
What say you, Steve Kaufmann?
I'm pretty sure Johnny Gargano's called up. I guess
we're all confused.
Yeah, I guess Ciampa's
we haven't really
injury.
seen Johnny on Raw in like 2 weeks.
Here's been my theory all week.
Or SmackDown.
True.
That everything you're seeing from Aleister Black and Ricochet on the main roster was supposed to be DIY.
Right.
And that Ciampa's injury made them have to double down. But now that we know now that we've seen what we've seen so far from the tapings for the Tag Team Classic, I don't know what to think. But they could have already had that pivot like planned. I do think Gargano on the main roster is more likely than less likely.
Yeah.
Because especially what we saw tonight, and we'll get into it when we get into it, but that seemed like a bit of a clean up of that whole angle.
Yeah.
Of the DIY Gargano Ciampa schism of why they're together, where they're leaving each other. That I don't see any reason why you wouldn't call up Johnny Gargano.
Right.
Well, especially if you have Lacey Evans just literally walking around.
Oh my
Right,
gosh.
not doing
It's
anything.
Like
even
they seem to just be putting a
wearing
lot
people
of
out.
they seem to just be putting a lot of people on a holding pattern in the main roster
But do
until
you-
they have a shakeup a week after WrestleMania.
That's a fair point.
Right.
And then you
So-
can start drafting people then.
Is it because of the Fox still? That's why they're doing.
That could be possible.
Because I also read that Fox wants WWE SmackDown to go PG.
I have read, I've read this as well. I don't think it's quite because of the Fox deal. Like I think because of the Fox deal, they understand they need to have a lot of options. Mm-hmm. So they're calling up a bit more people than they would have normally. But I also think that I don't know. Sometimes sometimes you need to just call people up and see how they look. Mm-hmm. Like this whole call up business used to not be as big a deal.
Right.
Like I remember like Fandango was just like, oh, he's up here now.
It's because when the fans get a hold of it now it's a thing though. Now it's like now it's the fans are dictating when they think someone should get called up.
I think
and how
ever
dare they
since
not get called up?
Ever since they started calling people up after WrestleMania, that's when it's
Yeah, that's exactly you're right, and or like a Royal Rumble moment. But you're right, it's ever since then where it's become a thing, like an inaugural thing they
And
do.
we as NXT fans who like this show and these people as they are, need to stop doing
Oh, like
that.
we're good. Like because it's not about the call up. Because we talked about this. Like you're not gonna say no to a damn call up. But the thing is, it's like we're like, but then what do they do with them?
Yeah.
That's what we're worried
That's
about.
why I'm wondering when Johnny Gargano goes on the main roster.
Yeah.
Where's he gonna?
Where's he gonna go?
Yeah.
Who's he gonna face?
Right.
Is he going for U.S. title? Is he going for Intercontinental? Is he just gonna hang around?
Is Candice LeRae down there, or is she up there with it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so like
Right.
these moments, like, guys, don't be so quick to just thrust Johnny on the main scene because he could get buried. Some really, really great NXT guys are gone. Like they're
Yeah,
somewhere.
But that's the thing too. You have to take into consideration the folks that don't watch NXT, right? So then you have these call-ups, and then you see like Lacey Evans walking in and out, and like, okay,
I could actually
That was
say
weird.
yes to that because when Nikki Cross and not Nikki Cross, Sanity, when they debuted, I was there when they debuted, and people around me were like, "Who are they?" And I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was like, "Are you?" I wanted
That's
to
how
like
you know they have
turn around and be
never.
like, "Are you kidding?"
That means they've never watched one NXT moment.
Exactly.
Ever.
NXT, and then some people are more Raw than SmackDown because they're like, let's be honest, the amount of wrestling that we watch, like per week, is not, unless you're a wrestling fan. Like you're not doing that.
Or
You
you're-
might watch Raw.
That's
or
where you're
might
like a
watch-
professional pundit, like we are.
And this is-
like
and-
we have to watch it
Yeah,
all.
Right.
and this is what we talk about. We talk about this all the time. I try to tell people this because when you're close to something, you don't realize the other side of it. We're the minority. Even though we're surrounded by a lot of people that watch it, the majority of the people that probably really still don't watch NXT.
Oh no.
And I have to be like, damn, they really ain't watching this, huh? Like it's not like they don't know these people. They really have not watched the show.
Like at best, they'll watch 2 takeovers a year. And
Yeah.
there are 5 takeovers a year. There's 52 shows.
and they burn it down. We're not talking about you know what the common thing is after you watch a takeover. They say it's better than the main. It's like every single time I've been fortunate enough to go like 2 takeovers and 2 WrestleManias back to back. And I kid you not, man. And if you just walk around the masses, they're like, oh. They're not going to top NXT. They're saying that about WrestleMania.
Yes.
Like, that is, for the people that aren't watching, like, y'all.
That's why
It's crazy.
NXT that was here in LA, it was amazing, especially what the heck Ricochet did. He hasn't done this in years.
awesome.
And Survivor Series was like, whatever.
The most apt comparison I gave for a takeover versus a Survivor Series or a WrestleMania is a Michelin star steakhouse or a Las Vegas buffet.
Wow.
But like the best of the Las Vegas buffet, WrestleMania is the best Las Vegas buffet you've ever been
Man,
to.
I've been to a couple good ones, man.
They have everything you could have ever possibly wanted, including steak.
But the steak is like,
No, the steak is still some of the best buffet steak you've ever had, but it's buffet steak. That's WrestleMania.
I know something better than all
NXT TakeOver.
Steve Kaufmann, ladies and gentlemen.
NXT TakeOver is a steakhouse, but like a really swanky Michelin star
Yeah, man.
steakhouse
like
where they hand
on
you
Sunset Boulevard,
they hand
the
you
most highest
they hand you a
one.
giant menu, but there's only 4 items on it.
Yeah, it's like
you,
steaks.
You eat what we
And it's
eat
50
what we
bucks.
have curated for you. It's expensive, but you walk out enjoying it for exactly what was curated for you and everyone else. Whereas a buffet is a different kind of experience.
I agree, bro. That's a good.
Make your plate what you want it.
Yes.
Based on all the food.
DJ, man, I get no boudoir for real. I can't get
Oh, he's there.
Is he protesting
I just
me?
wanted to.
Hey, I thought he was protesting me. We got the boudoir, DJ. I thought he
All right, so we have a couple votes for the boudoir.
Who gotta be there?
Just because Jim's not here, definitely Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
He's a little bit more clothed today. I like it. Ricochet for sure. Bianca Belair, and
she always
then
looks
the BMP shirt. You guys
BMP shirt got in the
you
boudoir.
guys haven't seen it. You're coming in late. BMP has its official shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Oh man, search BMP for the BMP shirt. That's an equal opportunity organization.
I want my own shirt.
Man, it's one of them things, man. I appreciate the TK for the boudoir. I like all this. I like this talk. I like all this. This is good. This is good conversation because y'all know it was an hour show and it was really light news, man. So I like that y'all are giving me all this good. This is good stuff, man. And people, it really is amazing what's going on as far as NXT goes. And I wanted to ask you guys questions. And what do you feel? Do you ever feel like I'm going to ask you probably every week? Do you ever feel like Steven, this show will ever go live? Just because of the spoilers, just because of the thing, because the pre-tape helps the wrestlers.
The pre-tape helps the wrestlers?
Yeah.
No, I don't, because like
Yeah.
you said, the people who watch NXT watch NXT.
Yeah.
And if you were to tell me who this title match is at TakeOver, which it won't stop me from watching next week. It won't
agree.
stop me from being excited about
Right.
TakeOver.
Yeah, I agree. I still watch it every week.
That there's no actual cost-benefit analysis to the viewer, to WWE versus their relationship with the viewer, to care whether or not it's taped. Because we're coming. We're watching.
Yeah, the original taping, the reason why the tapings, listen, Raw, WWE was always taped, is when WCW outed them because their show was live, it kind of forced Monday Night Raw to go live.
Monday Night Raw was, what they would do is they would tape 2 in 1.
That's what I'm trying to say, but they would get spoiled.
live.
They would get their show spoiled, though.
Because they would be live only half the time. They'd be live for the first show, and then they'd tape the second show.
Yeah.
And then they'd air the second show, but then they wouldn't have to be on the road. Like, they wouldn't have to put all those trucks on the road.
Because, like I said, it helps the organization, so I'm never against the tapings. I always just wonder, because of spoilers, do you think the tapings would ever go away? Or is everything going to be 100% live?
I don't see a world where the weekly NXT product is ever anything more than pre-taped.
And then too, it's NXT is like, you appreciate beyond, we want a little bit more storylines. You appreciate good wrestling.
Yeah.
So even if you know this person won, it's the storyline in the ring that you're like, oh, okay, like I can still co-sign on this.
Also, a lot happens backstage in NXT.
Yeah, they do a good job.
Specifically, that there's a lot. Like, obviously, people become champion in the ring on the weekly television show, but more often than not, like, the actual matches get made in a pre-taped segment in William Regal's office,
which I love.
So you don't actually know about it until they air it.
Yeah, but also what I like, like I said, speaking of backstage, Shayna Baszler comes out there like, listen, none of these women deserve this, and I just proved it, and they were like, well, listen, now you're in a fatal 4-way. So speaking of, see how things going backstage, we got these matches that are setting up right now. We have Keith Lee and Dominik Dijakovic next week. I'm liking Keith Lee. I like Dominik. Like I said, I call him Cesaro 2.0. I don't want the same thing to befall him. It has befallen Cesaro. One of the best wrestlers of the modern day era is Cesaro, and he is just permanently in black man's purgatory. I dare you to refute it.
I'm sorry, Cesaro is a millionaire who's on TV every week.
How you see? No. See that right there is a very
Here's
very.
The question.
What you just did right there is what people do when there's a millionaire football player and he's disgruntled.
Hold on.
That has nothing to do with the price of tea in China.
Do you know
Cesaro should be champion?
But do you know if Cesaro is disgruntled?
I'm disgruntled for him. You don't gotta be disgruntled.
All right, I'm just saying. But he might be happy in his role because if he isn't, it's a buyer's market.
I doubt that.
It's a wrestler's market right now. He's places he could go.
Yeah, here's the thing though. If Cesaro wasn't with the Bar, would he be on TV?
Exactly. See what I'm saying? No. So the Bar was a faction that was put together. That's the only reason he's on TV. He would never be seen.
But wouldn't you? So what's your argument? Because maybe I have your argument confused.
No. My argument. It wasn't even an argument. I'm just saying Cesaro, one of the best wrestlers in the world, and should have been champion. Had at least a 5-month run, 4-month run, 2-month run, a day and a half run.
Well,
I blame Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman represented Cesaro for a brief moment after Brock Lesnar defeated The Undertaker.
I thought this Cesaro thing was universal.
Paul Heyman, whatchamacallit, you pretty much used it as an opportunity to put over Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Didn't care about Cesaro.
Well,
I blame Paul Heyman.
Cesaro becomes champion, he better do the damn UFO. And if you don't know what that is. You better YouTube
Oh,
it.
she just dropped some indie knowledge on y'all. Listen, man, I'm sorry, man. She goes off the rails, but I like it, though. I like when she drops little Easter eggs and tests people's wrestling prowess. Where you at, Jim? Jim wouldn't know what that was. Jim would have been like, what?
He didn't even know. He thought those.
He'd be like, I don't care.
2 Mondays ago, he said they were from China when they're from Japan.
That was the greatest, most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. I was like, Lord, I'm so glad I would never say that.
Did he say Io Shirai and Kairi Sane?
But it was the way when he did it. I was like, bro, this is so close to politically incorrect. You have no idea. They're about to pull the plug on us right now. He's like, whatever Chinese promotion they're a part of. I was like, Japan, Japan. He is the scumbag.
Let him defend himself. He's not
I
here.
know, man. I wish because if he's here, he'd be like, I stand by it. They're from China. So we got
The last match.
oh my God, we get DIY. They come out for the main event. They're in the DIY garb. They're bringing the old shirts back. Y'all dig deep, man. It's still on the WWE's shop. They brought them back. Like, oh, buy these shirts, man. We still let's get a couple more dollars, man. Why not?
I bought those shirts for $4.
Ooh,
Like
nice.
about a year and a
The
half
retro
ago.
ones, huh?
The blue ones, yeah.
Nice. See? The WWE shop has a plethora of deals, man. They need to throw this BMP shirt up on us and get some more guap. But listen, okay, so they come out.
Guarantee they're not doing that.
They're like, I'm telling you right now.
Although after Kofi and
Listen,
Vince, that promo,
You
then-
see, that's the problem when you don't know somebody, TK. You know if I knew Kofi and I sat down and have a chit chat with him, like, bro, take it. It's yours. All I asked for was like $5. Take me out to dinner.
he could have said, Vince, you put me in the VIP.
$5?
And he'd be like, man, that BMP thing's kind of cool. And then Booker T comes out of retirement like, listen, being the CEO, I'm getting ahead of myself. Listen, they come out, man, and they go against the makeshift tag team of Ricochet and Aleister Black, which I love. I love these guys, man. I love them together because just like Steve said, you can always break them apart. You can bring them up together, and you broke them apart. It was like, oh, they were a single guy anyway. This was a nice run while it lasted. It was cute, but here we are.
That sounds like your impression of me.
Yeah, that was my Steve Kaufmann impression. He's like, this right here is Cesaro. He sucks.
Oh, wow.
So like, he's like, how do you know he's not happy? Because he ain't happy, Steven. Well, listen, count my they say don't count. Don't be counting people's money, Steven. Anybody tell you that? It's like you don't ask somebody why they went to jail. Don't be counting Cesaro's bank account. He might make bad investments. What if he's broke right now? He's like, all I'm holding on to is the opportunity to get into the WWE Championship. Steven, like you don't understand how much this means to me. He's like, what if he said that? What else?
I don't know what's going on. We're talking like 2 sentences ago.
Why? And now we're talking about Cesaro.
I do love when you get Evan on a stream of consciousness like this. They're like, have you done a show solo yet, Evan?
No, I haven't. But listen.
You can do it.
It'll be like I'm talking to myself. It'll be
if
like
you find that stream of consciousness, that's all you'll ever need.
yeah, just talking to them like Fight Club. But listen. So they had this match. I knew this match was gonna be amazing. It was amazing. We have 4 incredible wrestlers in the ring at the same time, making each other look good, doing what they do best. Take me through the match. What say you, Anissa Barr?
Thought it was great. Thought it was entertaining. A little long. Yeah.
A little long.
Yeah, that was a little too long. But, I mean, as much as I like both of these tag teams, I think Aleister and Ricochet should slow down all the high fly moves because they're just wasting it in a few years.
You mean for bigger spots?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Not like, what if
You mean stop doing pay-per-view event quality moves for Wednesday.
Exactly.
But this isn't Wednesday. This is the semi-final. For the Dusty Rhodes Classic,
But
damn it.
I'm also talking about when they do Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
She might have a point to that, though, for the people that are watching every single week. Then they get to WrestleMania, which they will be in, and everyone's
I understand they're at different cities, and not every city doesn't watch NXT. And
Touche.
don't know who these guys are. That's fine, but
I know what you're saying, though. I see.
Yes and no.
Yeah, I see what she's saying.
It seems like, especially with the high fly moves, where the percentage gets lower as far as how many people can do it.
Trust and
it's
believe.
still amazing, especially when you make it look flawless.
right. I mean, I've seen it live, but it's great what Ricochet can do live.
Freaking monster, man.
But what I'm saying is, like, I just don't want to see him do the best moves all the time, like what he did at NXT Takeover in Los Angeles. We haven't seen that in years. It's been on the indie scene. It's been so long since we've seen
Broke
that.
it out.
So when he broke that out, I was like, oh my God, like that's amazing. So I just don't want him to,
What do you think about that, Stephen? Like just having maybe save a little bit of that. Save a little bit of that. The juice.
Aleister Black, I think so. But Ricochet, I think what they're marketing his matches as is a video game. They're pretty much They're pretty much saying that Ricochet
he is a creative player. Trust him.
Ricochet is the creative wrestler in
2K.
2K.
Oh, he definitely is.
Because like every year I make myself in the 2K game, but then he moves like but then that character moves like Ricochet.
Yeah.
Oh.
He is super video game.
Y'all know I'm 6'2", 250 pounds. I'd be moving. I'd be Kane. I'd be Steve Austin at best.
But you move like Ricochet, man. It's all about your imagination.
I'd move like Ricochet in the video game. In real life, I'd move like the Undertaker. It'd just be. You need to get me a go-kart.
Would you ever do old school? Would you be able to walk the rope? Would you ever do old school?
I'd be able to walk the rope. I do old school on all four corners.
Oh my God, man! No, I get what you guys are saying on all accounts, though. I like what they're doing with them. I think the best finish moving all the business right now is that black mass. I think that joint is filthy, man. Filthy. He can get it out of, he can pull it out of nowhere, man. He really can. That's
on anyone.
Oh, that black mass is beautiful. He hits it every single time in exactly the same way, perfectly.
Now,
Go team.
Now, I was just wondering too, for folks who don't watch it how we watch it, do you watch NXT every week? Because I found at some points where like I could go without for 3 weeks and then kind of catch up on the 4th week.
I was like that before because before I continued starting NXT, about like maybe a year ago, I continued watching it. But before, I was able to watch it here and there, the clips, and then when NXT After Show, the NXT pay-per-views, I instantly got the whole storyline.
Truth be told, you could watch takeover to takeover, because I'm sure
based on how they build,
like I could all but guarantee that that WWE Network has these numbers. And that if you were to look into them, more people watch a 5 yearly takeover than watch even remotely weekly.
Like I said, they know the numbers. They knew the numbers when it was FCW. They knew when there wasn't people in the crowd. Now they know the demographic. Now we have to listen. This is a major corporation, so you're right. They do know what they're putting things in place to make sure they get in the casual fan. They know they have a cult audience. They know that's enough to start going. You see how they're baby steps, and then they're starting to expand to different countries now. And you know they started doing their tour, and like there's one takeover now. There's 4 takeovers. It's like so it's slowly growing into that brain. But you're right. If you at the end of the day they package the montages together so well, you could just watch takeover to takeover.
Yeah. Also, I'll admit it. I'm gonna watch tonight because it's Pete Dunne Walter, but. Week to week, I'm not watching NXT UK.
Yeah, Pete Dunne's gonna be.
That's a lot. I'm watching that
so
tonight.
For that.
But I need to know like that's.
You can't tell people you don't watch it, man. Listen, Steve watch every show, every NXT show, NXT UK, NXT Canada. He watches all the shows.
NXT Mars.
NXT Mars. Listen, oh my gosh. With that being said, we're about to get up out of here, man.
Wait,
I'm about to. Yeah, I'm about
Before
to.
we get out of here, I got something to say.
Oh, do you, boo?
I don't like the fact that what they're treating Candice LeRae.
Oh yes. Speak on that. We're talking about.
I don't like it because, as we both know, how Candice LeRae can work in the independent scene.
Yes.
She's the first woman to be ever in PWG, the first woman to win the tag team championships of PWG, took a freaking needle to the head by the Young Bucks and took it like a champ. So the fact that they're treating Candice LeRae as the poor Johnny Gargano's wife is, I don't like it. It's disgusting.
That kind of goes with what TK's saying about what they do with women.
Because
what if they call up Johnny Gargano and then she's free to be used?
But she doesn't run.
They should just do it now. It's like.
But
let her do something. She's like.
Steve says they're gonna do that eventually.
I'm saying if Johnny Gargano comes up and she doesn't, that's all that's left to do with her is to actually use her like a wrestler.
Oh, he's right. What do they do? What she gets to call up with him?
That would be unfortunate.
BMP. But I appreciate you, Anissa. Tell the lovely people where they can find you, girl.
You can follow me on social media at Anissa Barr.
TK Trinidad.
You can find me at everything at TK Trinidad.
Steve Kaufmann. Who ain't leaving? It's a work!
It's not a work. You can find me on Twitter almost exclusively at Steve Kaufmann. That is KAUFMANN. I'm involved in a lot of different YouTube pages, including one Bruce Pritchard
and AfterBuzz TV,
Ric Flair, bunch of folks. If I'm tweeting a link, chances are I'm involved. So support them and support me. And thank you all so much for having me here on the NXT After Show. And it's been an honor to do talk the wrestle sport here on AfterBuzz.
We'll see Steve next week. It's Evan T Mack, Instagram and Twitter. BMP shirts, man. Listen, I'm trying to go as low as possible. I try to get them. I damn near want to get away for free, man. But they're on Pro Wrestling Tees, $19.99, man. I try to get them like $4.99, but they were like, nah, bro, you can't go any lower. So BMP shirts, ProWrestlingTees.com, Evan T Mack, Instagram and Twitter. Bosa, what's good, baby? We'll see y'all next week.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.